I'm going to start this off with, so again, welcome everyone. My name is Steven. I represent OMMI, which is Online Marketing Monster Industries. We are based out of upstate New York. We are a AI inject company to be able to help other companies anywhere between 1 to 20 clients that we work with to be able to best figure out the injects to be able to help the businesses either finding leads, generation, email campaigns, and stuff on the back end. I have Manny Barreto here with me. Manny, if you could go ahead and introduce yourself and your company.
Yeah, my name is Manny Barreto. I'm one of the founding partners of Corporate Aviation. We provide charter services to private jets in a variety of formats. Most importantly, we look at the focus of a high level of customer attention, customer satisfaction, and relationship, and provide the safest private jets in the industry to ensure that our clients have the most comfortable travel experience for both either business or personal. And we really focus on the relationship of a one-on-one where you have a aviation professional such as myself work with you in providing you with the right level of aircraft, size, location, time frame, and we really do our best to make sure we do that. We have a dozen or so people that are aviation experts, and the real beauty of the business is that we really focus on the individual and managing expectations, and that's really important to us.
So now, where are you guys finding, like, or not to, we don't want to dig into like secrets and stuff, but your clientels, right? They're high dollar, high value type of clients and stuff. So what got you into this specific type of a niche within the travel area?
Interestingly enough, everyone on our team has relationships, long-term relationships, and we've been selling into that type of marketplace. I've been selling into the financial marketplace, so you have a lot of high net worth people. I have both personal and business high net worth, and they are looking for a unique service to provide them with private aircraft. I work for the largest companies in the industry. I work for NetJets and Marquis Jet, and I worked for them for 9 years. So that experience that I had and the relationships that I built, I brought with me, as well as my associates have similar relationships. My best source of clients is word of mouth.
Perfect.
And that to me is extremely important because when one of your clients is happy enough to provide you with one of their associates as someone that they trust and can provide you with another opportunity, that really says that we're doing our job.
Perfect. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Word of mouth either can do you a lot of harm, or it can be one of the largest tools. And how you decide to treat your clients, how you decide to treat your business area, your level of professionalism and stuff like that, it goes a long way and a lot longer than most people tend to think.
Absolutely. So, the other thing that I just want to add to that is availability. We are available 24/7. Recently, I had a client that was in Europe and called me. It was 2 a.m. local time, but it was 8 a.m. in Europe. He called and then said, "I'm sorry, is it 2 a.m. where you are?" I said, "Absolutely." He says, "How come you're answering the phone?" I said, "If you call me, I answer the phone."
That's awesome.
And that relationship or that trust that someone has, if they have a need or something that's going on, they know they can reach us. The most important aspect of what we do is personal attention to detail. I maintain my clients and all my associates. You will never speak to anyone else but me. I'm the person that manages everything about that relationship. I will always know what plane you're on, what tail number, where you're flying from or to. I will know if you're bringing your dog or not. I know that if you have any allergies. So you say all the things that are important to you once. And I have a
Yeah.
complete record of all of that. And I maintain that record very, very importantly and appropriately.
Yeah, it sounds like very, very meticulous and heavy attention to detail kind of wins that key there.
I had a client, you'll appreciate, I had a client recently that was flying from Chicago to New York, and she was celebrating something, and she likes this specific Prosecco that is
Hmm.
extremely hard to find. Um, and I said, I have a little surprise for you when you get on your plane. She says, what? You found my Prosecco. I said, you don't even let me give you a surprise.
See, that's perfect. That's how I am with Moscato. I'm very, very picky with Moscato.
Yep. And
So
she just was like in heaven that I had put bottles of her favorite Prosecco on board.
that's yeah. See, that's key right there. That's that's considered high. That's high value.
Yes,
Being able to care and have that knowledge of, for your level of clients and stuff. And that's the thing is one, not even just in the travel industry, but just as far as like professional relationship. Um,
absolutely.
that's where we call that keeping that client engagement and stuff. So that's one of the biggest things that even with us in the tech industry, we strive for that very high dollar, very high level of managing expectations. So
That's so
kudos.
important. That's so important. And um, Danny, what's Danny's last name? One of the top restaurateurs. And he's written a book, Setting the Table. He talks about hospitality quotient, HQ.
Hmm.
And he said, I can hire someone who's a hostess or a maitre d', but if they haven't got that HQ, that hospitality quotient,
Yep.
they're not going to be good in my business.
Yeah.
And and that's so important because there's got to be times when you are the consultant, you're the individual, and someone will ask me for something and I know it's not right. I'm going to appropriately say that's not what I recommend. Like
Yeah.
that wine's not going to go good with this.
Oh yeah. Well,
So
not only that, but just how you approach that too.
absolutely. It's a level of trust and understanding. And if I can do that with saying, I know you like that aircraft, but for this trip that you're taking, it's going to be more of a challenge. So I recommend that this aircraft is the one you should have. We won't have a fuel stop. You'll be more comfortable. It's the right thing to do.
Yep. That's I mean, that's the thing. I mean, look at like Chef Gordon Ramsay, like the level of I guess professionalism that he demands. It's not even like you know, if you walk into any of his restaurants, I don't know if you've ever actually been to the one in Atlantic City and stuff, like
Yes.
or even like the main one that's right out of Las Vegas. Same thing where it's just like the demand for the level of professionalism and stuff that is there. I mean, yeah, a lot of people kind of get thrown because they expect like all the yelling and stuff from the show, and that's just all hype. But it's every time he sets an expectation the moment you step in any of his restaurants.
Yeah, the gentleman I was talking about that had the book that I had met and spoke for us at one time is Danny Meyer.
Meyer.
Yep. And he is truly a guru of customer service and managing some of the best restaurants in the world. So, that type of situation and you watch what they do and how they do it, it's quite amazing.
Well, I have so one question I do have is how can travel and concierge businesses move personalization from a buzzword to a strategic advantage?
It does become a strategic advantage when it's done right. And the way to do it right is attention to detail. Um, it's always asking the right question, anticipating the right thing to ask. When you're doing something with someone, it's not just about listening to what they say, but it's taking it to the next level. If someone is flying from A to B, I'll ask them, when you get to Palm Beach, do you have a car service waiting for you?
Hmm.
Yes or no. If they don't, then I can say, I will provide that for you if you would like. So it's asking the questions. Um, if they're traveling with their pet, okay, if
Yeah.
there are certain things that I need to know about the pet, that, that dog or cat or whatever, or there are things that if you're traveling with seniors, adults that may have difficulty getting up and down ladders, asking that question to bring the level of service to another
Yeah.
level. So they don't have to be concerned about, did I ask them? One of the major issues with travel is luggage. Luggage is always an issue when you're on a private jet. So
Hmm.
when someone says they have 70 cubic feet of luggage space, that doesn't sit in my head well. What is 70 cubic feet? But if I tell them it's the equivalent of 3 Lincoln Continental cars, the trunks, then they know.
Yeah.
So equating things out to make it easy for people to know is very important. Asking the questions that make the difference, that they bring a higher level of trust, to make yourself available at any time, and make sure that they understand if you have a question, if there's anything, let me know. Today, one of the things that I do that I think most people should is ask, what's the best way to communicate with you?
Oh,
Telephone,
yeah.
email, text. And
Yep.
so when you have that level of understanding of what they respond to, and you communicate that way, you're communicating in their language.
Speaking of language, actually, so that's one of the questions that I have down under personalization strategy. How often do you ever look at people's personality type to be able to understand how to best communicate with them? So,
All, all the time.
yeah. So that's the thing is one of the biggest things and strategies that we try to do and understand is one, understanding the personality type and understanding how the person learns or reciprocates information. So some people are visual learners, some people are auditorial, some people just have to be the hands-on in order enough to understand certain things. Um,
Interpersonal skills are extremely important. Auditory, kinesthetic, visual.
yep.
You have to speak how your client speaks. You have to match the tone, the inflection, the speed. I speak very differently to my friends from New York than I do from my friends from Charleston, South Carolina. But when someone says, I want to learn about this aircraft, I want to see how it'll get me there, I want to show me what's important, my response is, these are the things I want you to look at. This is what you need to see. If someone says to me, I'm very concerned, I really am concerned about this, the worst thing you can say is, don't worry about it.
Right. Yeah, that's not going to make them
The
feel.
best thing you can say is, I understand your concern. Therefore, what we're going to do is we're going to address every issue to minimize any risk that we may have. So someone who views things as more of a way than positive, you
Yeah.
speak into that language. So I have for years been one of interpersonal skills and listening to the linguistics of how someone speaks, and
Yep.
that is how you bring it to another level.
Yeah. Not only that, but even sometimes, I mean, do you guys talk over the phone or video chat? Because you can also utilize just interpersonal communication, reading somebody like a book, just how they carry themselves, what they're wearing, kind of gives them a little bit of a what that inside fold of a book, that introduction of what this is about. It's that very brief blurb of you can tell a little bit about somebody.
Relationship is extremely important, and relationship does not happen until trust is established.
Is that perfect?
And so when you establish trust, um, when you say something to someone, if you tell them today is Thursday, We had an agreement to speak at 4:15, and we were reviewing information for a podcast. Did you realize what you just did?
Acknowledge.
You shook your head each time.
Yep.
And so what I try to do is understand what's important. I say three things that are absolutely important and agreed upon, and then
Yep.
you can move on to the next level. But you've got to establish a sense of relationship and trust before you can ask questions and move on to another level.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think a lot of that also kind of comes from, I guess, either past experience, dynamic of the conversation, being able to control, steer, and manage conversations and stuff with certain individuals. Because you also have to understand some people's attention span also comes huge into play. People's reaction to how you are addressing, especially when, like how you had said, listen, if they're nervous about something, you say, oh, don't worry about that. Well, that doesn't make me less nervous about it. And please, why don't you kind of elaborate a little bit and tell me how I should not be
Right.
now, and exactly how you said, which I beautifully articulated, the fact that it's like, I understand and I hear your concern. This is what we have put in place as a safety or a protocol or whatever that addresses each point to where they are uneasy. Now, and that's what I was going to say. Do you tend to find, I have here, one of my questions is, do you tend to find that private travel is more common with people of higher nerves?
Higher what?
Higher nerves, like
No,
they're anxious.
no.
So,
Interestingly enough, there isn't a safer way to fly than in a private aircraft that is vetted and is gone through all the security and safety that we go through. Number one. Number two, the benefits of flying privately. The one thing that no one can give you or that you can't buy is time. If you are flying, let's say I'm here in New Hampshire, I'm flying down to the Caribbean. Well, let's just say I'm going to Florida, to Fort Lauderdale. I got to get in the car. I got to travel to Boston. I got to go to the airport. I got to check luggage. I got to wait. I got to go through security. I have to get on the plane. When I land, I have to get my luggage and do all of that. The actual flight is only 3 hours.
Yeah.
But
we
the
just went through a
reality
9-hour adventure.
It's a 8 to 9. Oh, and by the way, if you have a stop, then it's a 10-hour plus event.
Yeah.
Right? If you fly privately, you fly from point A to point B nonstop. You drive your car up to the aircraft. They take your luggage out of the car, put it on the plane. You don't go through security. That's it. It's just the people on the plane with you. And it is the flight time that you are looking at. So in essence, if you're a high net worth person or if you're a business person and you want to save a day, you want to save 4 or 5 hours, what's it worth to you?
Right.
If you're a business person and you need to make 3 or 4 city stops, how long is that going to take you? 3 days, 2 days? Or can you do it in a day and a half?
Oh, it depends on if one of them's Chicago or Atlanta, because then
there you go. But if you're going to Boise somewhere, you need to land in a small airport. All right.
Well, that's all I have in Boise, Idaho.
There you go. But the reality is that what we provide is a sense of security, a sense of convenience, buying time, and safety. You know, when COVID was around and people were very concerned about sitting next to someone they don't know, and then that person starts coughing, you're like taking your life in your hand. When you fly privately, the only people on the plane are the people that are with you.
Yeah.
So there's a sense of security. There's a sense of comfort. You can't fly commercially with pets anymore. And pets are sometimes the most important thing in the world to people.
Yeah, to some people,
More than family. So a lot of my clients fly privately because they have a dog, that is their family.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I know several people where they're kind of been labeled like the black sheep of the family. So literally all they have is their pets, and that is it. That is 130% their ride or die. And I every time I walk into the house, I don't think I've ever seen an animal have so much luxury and toys and stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah. They say it's a dog's life. I want to be your dog.
yeah, seriously. Yeah, if reincarnation is ever a thing, I'm gonna find out how to get that address.
But it's so true. But the level of concierge or the white glove service that we provide is
Yeah,
really for people that require that, demand it, and appreciate it to the point where they continue to come back to me.
perfect. Because that actually goes right to this question where it says, beyond booking details, how can you personalize extra touch points like experiences or behind the scene tours to create emotional connections and increase income? You had already told us the story about the lady with Prosecco and stuff like that. So it's like you're already, again, going way above and beyond that baseline of expectation. Now you are
So,
bringing them into that almost like that family type of like era.
so let me give you two examples of that. I had a gentleman who had a very interesting consulting company and wanted to take his top people to the Super Bowl. So he had 10 people he was going to take to the Super Bowl. And I knew this was an important event for this individual. So what I did was I went to the plane prior to them taking off. I decorated it like a Super Bowl party. It had
Who
the
was their team?
I'm not going to go there.
Oh, come on. All right.
They were Kansas City Chiefs people, okay?
Yes.
I had all kinds of signs. I had balloons. I had a cake in the shape of a football. I had little footballs that they could throw around. I mean, when they got on the plane, their trip, their vacation
That's
starts the
solid.
moment they got on the plane.
That's solid.
I had someone last year take his family um, to the Caribbean, and it was his grandchildren. And he told me that one of the grandchildren was big into flying. And so what I did is I contacted the pilots, told them when this young man gets on, when Stephen gets on board of the aircraft, I want you to treat him like he's a new pilot. And they put the kid in the jump seat.
Oh
And this
man.
kid,
How old was he?
he was going to be 9. And he sat right behind the pilots. This gentleman, his grandfather, could not thank me enough for making this so appropriate for his grandson. The kid was like through the roof. But that's again talking about concierge level attention to detail on what's important to your client and how you can make them feel like this is all about them. Their vacation or their business trip starts the moment they get on the plane, and I take care of all of that for them and make sure that they're comfortable and arrive safely.
That's solid. I bet that was you know how generally every single time kids come back from like a vacation or a trip like that, the teacher will always ask. I bet the teacher didn't even get a chance to
Yeah.
be like, "Hey,
No.
Johnny, how was your?" He probably busted in. Guys, guess what I got to do?
Okay. So, like I treat the dogs, like I treat the kids, like I treat the people, the decision maker is now the hero.
Yeah,
My
that's
client is the hero. I provided him with a platform to shine.
yep.
And that's, again, a concierge level service. If you go to a hotel and you want to go to the theater and you're there with your wife on an anniversary and the concierge at the hotel gets you great seats,
Hmm.
they make you shine.
Yeah, that's yeah. It sounds like you and your company um kind of do that way above and beyond to just roll out the carpet for anybody that's a client with you guys. Which kind of gonna key right in, jumping into topic two with the profit margin.
Let me add one thing, if I may. I'm wearing a shirt and tie because I was visiting with a client today. Usually I just wear a regular shirt, but one of my associates had a client that was flying out of an airport nearby where I live. And he said, Manny, could you visit so-and-so when they're departing? Now, I've met this guy 3 times. And each time, of course, I bring, different fruit, hors d'oeuvres, or whatever to be on the plane. He walks to the FBO and he goes, look who's here. Manny's here to greet me. Now, he's not my specific client, but he's part of corporate aviation's client base.
Right, yeah.
He knows me, and he knows I'm there to welcome him and make sure everything is perfect for him. So, it's that relationship that we have across our team to support our, quote, our clients for the company.
So now how many team members do you guys actually have?
There are 5 of us in sales, and then there are 3 others that are support individuals.
Okay, yeah. So it keeps
it's a company of 8.
Tight network group.
Yep, and
sure.
We've grown, which is nice. But we're very meticulous on who we bring into the fold here. They need to have that level of attention to detail for clients.
No, 100%. I mean, if not, you ever see the show You Are the Weakest Link? Bye.
That's right. That's right.
So here's so going into profit margin and growth. What is the key difference between agencies that are growing and those that are struggling, and how does it relate to profitability?
It goes back to what we just talked about: relationship and customer service. If you have relationship, they're going to continue to fly with you. If you have that level of service, they're going to recommend you. That growth that you have is from within, and it's associations. If I have someone that is part of a group and they're very happy with me, I will extend myself to that group, whether it's the donations for a special interest, and I'll get involved. It's how do I get involved in their life to grow my business and to make the business better for everyone, and for that individual to feel confident and comfortable when they make a reference to me. I represent. You have to remember, when anybody recommends you, that you are representing them, and you've got to do it in the best possible way.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
and so that's where the growth comes in. That's where more profitability comes in. If I have people coming in where I'm not spending time trying to find them, and days and days to find one person, but I find one person from someone that's a relationship, that's better turnaround.
Well, I think that's the thing. So the moment anybody says, hey, this is so-and-so and I recommend him, they are putting their personal mark on it that says, hey, this guy has instilled honor, trust, validity, and everything to the standards that I uphold myself, and that's why I recommend
a group of people. When you're looking at mass market, that's a different aspect. My viewpoint on the world, it still comes back to customer service. If you're mass marketing something, you have to have a customer service level. When someone calls, someone's picking up the phone and not putting into a cycle. And someone takes responsibility when it's answer the phone to follow through to get you your answer. Interestingly enough, now with all the AI tools and with communications with a variety of different things, they will help you get to a certain point, but there will be a point where you need to have a person.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Which I'm loving how this is rolling, because that jumps right to topic 3, technology and AI. How is AI changing travel in 2025? And what are the new tools emerging to create instant, personalized itineraries but how do you still keep those professional level engagements?
There are a couple of different things that technology, first and foremost, I have a good memory, but I don't have a great memory. I use tools like Salesforce to remember
Yep.
different things. When someone says follow up with me in November, I have Salesforce. It pops up on my screen. I have that
Yep.
there. I know who the person is, what their needs are, and minimize the amount of conversation, but maximize the value. I also have tools that Zoom Info that help me search out clients or individuals for either the CEOs or their executive assistants. And when they look at certain things, how does that tool help me find the right people? I also have a tool that helps me find the right aircraft. I go into a tool that say I want to go from Chicago to Denver, and I want to leave at this time, and I need an aircraft that'll seat 8 people. I put all that detail in. It goes out and searches the marketplace and provides me with the available operators. I
Yeah.
select 4, and then they provide me with pricing.
Nice.
So technology and the use of technology is key. Um, I'm going to be very honest with you. I use Chat GPT all the time. I I'm educated. I've been in sales a long time, and
Yeah.
Chat GPT still writes a better email than I do.
Yep. Yeah. And that's the thing, is that's kind of like the kind of the world that we're getting into, where it's it says how can like tech layer be leveraged for faster impact in on personalization. So that right there, you're
Right,
already tying that right into where it's like, hey, yeah, I can write a very professional sounding email,
right.
but the way that this sometimes some of these AIs are laying things out, you're like, actually, you know what? Delete. That sounds a lot better. Copy paste.
Well, the interesting part is that you can tell Chat GPT, make it more friendly, shorten
Oh
the
yeah.
message, make it
Mm-hmm.
more professional. And depending on what I'm doing, I use those tools to make it either more friendly, more professional, or more succinct. So there are tools that are important to me as a professional that I use to communicate with my client base.
Yep. Well, I mean, one of the biggest things that we actually kind of utilize, not only Chat GPT, so with our AI emailing service, is that client engagement. So we utilize back end emails. So for a lot of people that are travel concierges that are clients of ours, we actually built in an algorithm and stuff, so that way your guys' CRMs are built to automatically 4 months, 6 months after somebody travels and they land, it kind of sends that dreaded almost automatic email that it says, hey, you traveled with us, come back again. And you're like, yep, I know, goodbye. And what we do is we actually personalize using our AI to help them be that more white glove. So we actually have an AI like chat feature built within the back end. So with the moment 2 days after somebody gets off the plane, instead of just sending them a questionnaire that just says, hey, kind of fill this out, send me a couple pictures and see, what did you like? And they're like, yeah, it was great, because they kind of just want to wash their hands of it. It talks as if it was you emailing and says,
Right.
hey, welcome home. You made it, whatever. How was such and such? The moment they email back, it reads it, picks it up, and then regurgitates some of that information to keep that client engagement. It's as if you are emailing them directly.
What's interesting is that I make those calls personally, number one. Number two, I know the plane was very good. I know that they had a great service. My question goes more to what can I do to make your experience better?
Yeah. Oh,
What,
yeah.
what are the things that we're doing that are right? What can we do to make it more streamlined? And how can I make your trip even more memorable than we did?
What is your typical response for that? I mean, here's the thing: if you kind of seem like a guy that goes, I mean, well beyond the moon and there then some. So I'm curious, depending on the level of we'll call it personality, right? Some people can be a little more snippy. Some
Mhm.
people are just very loving, very outgoing, and grateful for what you have done. How many times have you actually like interacted with somebody where they're just like, well, this could have been better?
Very
I would,
rarely.
I was going to say, I would very
Very,
be,
very rarely. And usually it's things that are out of my control, such as air traffic control and delays because of air traffic control, or perhaps bad weather. And the flight, when they were taking off, was a little more bumpy than they like. Um, and interestingly enough, I had mentioned that we have a compliance and safety officer, and he will
yeah,
look at the weather and the conditions where they take off and where they land and will give the client a heads up that there are winds and there will be issues of a little bumpiness, and it will be in the 20 to 25,000 foot level, but your pilot will get to a higher level to make it level and more calm. So our unique ability with a safety and compliance officer to review the flight and give them a complete evaluation of what to expect really helps me in that when they do run into something like that, this is what they told us. This is what we were to expect. And now he's going at a higher level. And so we now know it'll be a safer, smoother ride. So
yeah,
anticipating, like before, I said, anticipating the questions, anticipating the outcome, and really providing a client with a sense of security that you know what you're doing.
yeah. Which we're tying right into topic four, which is long-term client relationships, which you've answered this multiple times, but just for the sake of the podcast, we say, what are the strategies that can be used to convert initial clients
Right.
to loyal brand advocates who drive word of mouth marketing? I mean, several times you have
Yeah.
given us clear examples of what your guys' key strategies on your level of attention to detail, how you meticulously articulate everything up front and there more. Then just your again, like I've seen you taking notes and stuff in the beginning, right? I gave you the four categories that I was going to be talking about, and you wrote those four down, didn't you? You showed it right there, right on your page
Exactly
there.
right.
So that way we can make sure one, it was a level of expectations, probably a check on, how much am I actually going to go through what I said that I was going to do, right? Are
Right.
we going to actually hit in these topics? But it also, if for you as a I would definitely call you a very high collegiate level thinker, is you're analyzing and looking at each one of these topics and multitasking to, as you're answering my questions, you're going to see again how this is how this entire podcast has flowed so beautifully, is because you're already tying it into the next topic. You're already going it through and perceiving and having that level of understanding because you already took your own level of notes.
Well, I'm going to add another level to that. You ready?
Absolutely, sir.
Prior to our call, I wrote out 5 different topics: client types, safety, process, uh, the life of a client, value of our service. And I put 2 or 3 dots on there that I thought would be of importance to you. And then when you
Yeah,
told me what you were looking for, I knew where I'd pick those dots.
yeah, that's solid strategy. That's key right there. So one of the
I've enjoyed our conversation very much.
yeah, absolutely, sir. I'm actually this is definitely one for the books. So I would like to in closing, I would like to ask one last um where it says, how do businesses foster the long-term loyalty and referrals as seen in companies prioritizing clients' needs over short-term profit?
I think the interesting piece is, again, I'm going to come back to the foundation of the way I work and the way we work at Corporate Aviation. relationship. You've got to maintain relationship. You've got to that relationship. There are times I'm going to tell you that something happens and I need to take a loss on something. But the loss that I take is far outweighed by the future revenues that are gained.
Correct. Yes.
So
There it is.
don't be concerned if you have to take a short-term loss on something as an investment in the client and the relationship.
There it is. 100%. Hey guys, again, this is Steven with OMMI, which is Online Marketing Monster Industries LLC. We've had Manny on here for about the last about hour or so now, and man, I really challenge you guys to go back through and to write down some of the key nuggets of information that he is putting out. The man is strategized. He is intellectual, both emotionally, mentally, and professionally, making sure that he is outlining those key strategies as not even just as an entrepreneur, a business owner, but just literally that white glove service that he is providing to his clients. The level of expertise that Manny has provided with us in this last hour. I really challenge you guys to take a look at what you're doing in your business. What is it that you're doing as your business model, as you're doing with your clients? You know, how can you better read your clients? How can you better be prepared for anything that your clients are going to be looking for, asking for, needing, and wanting? How do you already have that structured and ready before they even need to ask? That, my friends, is 100% white glove service. Manny, I'm going to ask you to again reintroduce yourself and your company. If you could go ahead.
Yep. Again, my name is Manny Barreto. I'm one of the founders of Corporate Aviation. I believe my phone number will be posted, but it's 603-785-5611. You can reach me directly through email at manny@corporateaviation.com. And please do visit our website, corporateaviation.com.